Marcus Conte reporting from a fall in New York. Ah, the leaves are on the ground. Look. It's time to absorb a little nature. Look at all the leaves, man. Beautiful, right? The trees are giving up their leaves to fertilize the next generation. They know how to plan ahead. Pow, Marcus Conte reporting. How you doing? So, we're going to talk about the big debate, the master debate last night, the final debate, the final time that we will ever see Joe Biden and Donald Trump on the same stage. Unless, of course, Trump runs for 3 years and Biden is still alive. And he tries again. But what a debate, what a debate. It's nice to be outside right now, really. It's so beautiful in New York. It's 65, a little overcast, it's cool. It's not cold whatsoever. God, I'm gonna miss this place. That's part of my spiel today, is that I won't be around. I won't be around, I have to tell you. My days in New York are numbered. I told you it was coming. I told myself it was coming. So, I'm dealing with that a little bit right now, a little emotional. I'm a little emotionally attached to my surroundings. I'll miss Brooklyn, I'll miss the bridge. I'll miss Manhattan, I'll miss being walking distance to Manhattan. I'll miss very old things like this. Very old structures in Brooklyn and New York. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the election. Just bear with it. Here you see people, I guess, less fortunate people sometimes live here. Yeah. I imagine you can jump over if you're desperate enough. It looks like it's locked. But you can jump over. Look at the beautiful old wood ceilings, you know? If this were maintained, it would be beautiful, but instead it's a shithole. Right? Like so many things in New York, just because, I don't know why. But look at the old wrought iron. Wow. That's what I'll miss about this place, the character. There's so much character in this city that I don't think I could survive anywhere else. Is in my mind, my monkey mind. Oh, please, stay forever. Keep things the same forever, so that I can feel comfortable in my skin. So, Marcus Conte reporting. That was my opening statement. So last night was the master debate. And what a debate it was. A very fine debate. A very amazing debate. Very beautiful debate. I think Trump, I'll give it away. I mean, it's in the title, but I'll give it away. I think Trump won handsomely, handily. Beats Biden despite the mute button. I don't think the mute button was much of a factor. I saw Trump's lips moving a couple of times. And no words, you couldn't hear what he was saying, just very briefly, with just clips. So I don't think that was really a factor. I think Trump played it well. And let's talk about it. So they went subject by subject. It wasn't a pushy shovey match whatsoever. Although it did get pushy shovey and accusational at points. It seemed that it was the commentator was excellent. In my view, she was very open. She was very open. What does that mean? I just got distracted by some dude. She was very in the moment. Very it seemed objective. She seemed to cut Trump off more because that's the nature of Trump. More than Biden. But for the most part, I'll give the I'll give the commentator maybe an A minus. Not an A, but an A minus. Certainly not an A plus for effort. It wasn't, you know, it was a good performance. She did well. She asked the questions that she wanted to ask. She left them pretty much open for the candidates to decide. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So beautiful. Look at the fall in New York. Right? Things are still green here because we're down at sea level. The long and winding road that leads to your door. I come out here and sing all the time. I sing, I sing, I sing. I let people, well, I let nobody know because there's nobody out here. Hey, it's my park. Nobody coming up behind me. The beautiful bridge, one of my favorite spots in all of Brooklyn. Now you see the busy cars down there, down on the highway on the Belt Parkway, and the many cars in the sky on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, where the British once entered the New York harbor to kick us out or enforce their strength on us. Very historical spot. Very historical. So, again, can't emphasize enough just how important the debate. What are they jockeying for? Oh, only the most powerful position in the world. The most powerful elected position in the world. How many people are watching? On my watch, online, CBS, this is just online stats. CBS had 450,000 watching. Fox, 872,000. NBC, who hosted the event, had the least 331,000. And ABC had a whopping 1.4 million people watching just on YouTube alone. Because that's all I really looked for. So, millions watching on YouTube. On YouTube! How many people are watching on the Idiot Box, the TV? Hold on a second. We have a squirrel in the road. Hello, squirrel. Have you found your nut today? I usually have nuts with me, but not right now because I'm working. So they went, I'll go piece by piece. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. Overall, my overall impression, my overall gut feeling of watching the debate is that in my view, Biden has to make a game changer. Biden had to do something that changed the paradigm, the lie that Trump is dangerous, that Trump mishandled Corona, that Trump is in bed with Russia, that all of the fucking lies, the summation of all the lies, he's terrible, he's a racist, he hates you. Biden had to make the case that any of that was true and shift away from the narrative of a very popular president who is his own man, the independent Donald Trump, as the public sees him. Right? Biden had to knock him off his game, not the other way around. The mainstream media is saying that it was Trump. Trump had to annihilate Biden to regain his footing. That's total bullshit. It's the other way around. That mainstream media is plugging it the opposite. They want you to believe that Biden is the favorite and it's Trump's to win. Right? Trump has the presidency. There's a car coming. A fucking car in the park. And this is a very New York thing. Where's he going? They're workers. They're allowed to be here. This is my other little sitting spot. I'll show you my other little sitting spot. See, things like this in New York, right? I don't know if you have this where you are, but this is where I am right now. And as I said, I'm leaving very soon. Marcus Conte, I'm going to miss everything, man. I'm going to miss... I'll still do the same thing. I say, in life, I say, wherever you go, there you are. You bring yourself with you, no matter where you go. When I came to Bay Ridge, when I came to this neighborhood, no one fucking knew this neighborhood. No one knew how spectacular it was and beautiful it was. I made that shit up. I came here from Lower Manhattan, initially from Staten Island, and I moved around the city. Right? What I'm trying to say is that wherever you go in this life, there you are. Right? I don't know what the future holds, but I'm moving towards more rural area. I'm not going to tell you exactly where until I settle in a little bit and feel comfortable with it. But anyway, I'm very nostalgic right now. I'm very I feel the tender heart of sadness. Oh, I feel so sensitive right now. I'm an open wound. I'll miss my place. I'll miss this. You know, ever have that feeling like you're gonna miss it? It's a beautiful park. That's the thing about New York City with the urban parks. They're so amazing. This used to be a baseball field when baseball was legal. Remember when people used to play baseball? It was legal. Now you get screamed at. You get fined. You get shut down, motherfucker. Stay 6 feet away. Put your mask on. This is communism now. Fuck you. Team sports? Hell fucking no. So the final debate. So they went through, the first subject was coronavirus. Right? And Trump testified that he did a great job. And Joe Biden testified that Trump was a fucking disaster throughout the whole coronavirus pandemic. Biden tried to blame Trump entirely for the situation. Keeps running the 200,000 dead number, just like Obama and everybody else, all the other Democrats. 200,000 dead, but we know that that's rather normal. That's a rather normal count when it comes to flu. So there was Biden painting Trump the bad guy. How horrible, absolutely fucking horrible Trump handled the thing. And it's just not substantiated in fact or in evidence. There's no evidence that Trump keeps saying if he didn't do what he did, 2 million people would have died. And Biden saying if he didn't do what he did, less than 200,000 people would have died. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. What happened is what happened. The U.S. government found out that there was this mysterious virus, mishandled it by publicly prescribing ventilators to people that didn't really need it, rather than letting the doctors do what they do, ordering morgue trucks, creating superficial hospitals with nobody in them, boats with hospitals in them that nobody fucking used. Giant hysteria, throwing mysteriously sick people in the nursing homes with the very, very vulnerably sick people. So who mishandled who mishandled it? I guess it was a sum total of what the hell it was. A virus that had some sort of powerful effect, deadly effect early on, very early on, killed a couple of people. And I speculate that was entirely, or in part, a result of the sick, very sick condition of people in this country with all their ailments, their heart disease, their renal failure, their diabetes, their overweight, their compulsive eating, compulsive drug taking, compulsive coffee drinking, lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, working in places that they fucking can't stand, no health care to go to a doctor because your body is falling apart from all the bullshit. And pow, a virus comes along and knocks people down. That's all it was. That's all it is. And that's all it will remain to be. If people come away with the idea, with the realization that coronavirus woke up a lot of sick people to their sickly condition, then it wouldn't have been wasted. Because I got to tell you, the air is a little cleaner. It seems like, I keep thinking that, I keep saying it over and over again. Sometimes I get on this trip where I think that humans are not capable of perceiving the shift in atmosphere that has happened. That we've already passed the turning point because so many things have changed. So many things have shifted, right? Shifts in consciousness, shifts in behavior, shifts in economy, shifts in global interaction. Right? Everything shifted right around March, April of 2020. But nonetheless, it does seem to be a less crowded, less congested, less pollution pumping environment. Now, a lot of people are addicted to that. A lot of people are emotionally attached to their slave job, getting on that, waking up in the morning, pushing into the train, going to a shit job that they can't stand around people they fucking hate. And over time, you learn how to deal with that, and that becomes your identity. That becomes your life. That becomes your bread and butter. Right? So what I'm trying to say about coronavirus is that societally, traditionally, economically, physically, everything has changed. And for Biden to blame Trump for all that is actually, you could interpret it as a good thing. Like, yeah, Trump navigated the change like nobody else. Right? You could make that argument. So in the debate, when Biden is attacking Trump on his mishandling of coronavirus, in my view, that falls short. It falls short for me. How does it fall short for millions of Americans? I think the same, because I think most people are not stupid. They'll see it and know it, and then mainstream media will tell them, no, that's not what you saw. It's the opposite. You see, it's Joe Biden who's leading, and Trump is going to fucking lose because Trump is an idiot, and Trump is bad. Right? That's what they're going to try. That's what they tell you right after it's over. Don't watch that shit. Watch this shit right here. Watch the truth and pay attention to what you feel, and you'll see what my point is. Right? So coronavirus was the first subject matter, and Trump wins that argument because all Biden said was that less people would have died under his guidance. And Trump points out that during the Obama administration that there was some kind of fucking pig flu virus or something that they mishandled. I don't know. But so anyway, so then the conversation moved on to Iran-Russia interference, which is a joke, which was a hit piece released like 2 days ago, right before the debate, where the CIA tells the Washington Post, none other than the Washington Post, that Russia and Iran are sending out phishing emails. They're phishing. It's so fucking stupid, right? And that's why they're interfering, and we can't have a fair election. Not because the Democrats cheat, not because the Republicans cheat, but because Iran and fucking Russia again is hacking, is peeping out of your Facebook page. Vote for Biden because Trump's an animal. Do you actually believe that? Have you gotten at any point in this lead up to the election, has any Hold on a second. Getting all worked up here. Has any Russian or Iranian told you to vote for somebody? It hasn't happened for me, so I guess not. I don't think it happened for you. Ooh, you know what? I found out yesterday, right? That, oh, look at this. See, I'm leaving before the election, November 3rd, right? I won't be in New York. Confirmed. And I wanted to vote, but I didn't get a chance because I won't be here. Right? So I get to vote early voting, right? I got the fucking thing in the mail, man. I got to go vote tomorrow. Tomorrow in New York City, it starts early voting, and I'm going to go vote. And you say, oh, well, Conti, why are you voting for? I thought you said the votes are a sham and everything's a ripoff, and that is all true, but it is... I believe in tradition. I believe in custom. I believe in the American way. I believe in it. That's what differs me from most commentators out there saying, tear everything down, everything is broken. I don't believe that. I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I believe in the executive branch, the separations of power, judicial, legislative, Congress, courts, and executive. I believe in that. President, right? And I've always said, you can hear the fog. You can hear the foghorn in the harbor. You hear that? I don't know if you could hear that, but it's so beautiful. It's music to my ears. The foghorn, because over that fence is the harbor, and the boats have to, if they can't see, if they have low visibility, they got to blow their horn. But every once in a while, you hear it toot, and it's. For some people, it would be an annoyance. For me, it's glorious, the sound of the harbor. You know. I got distracted. I'm sorry. So the second question was interference, and that's when Trump laid in. Biden said something so ridiculous. He said this. He said, Trump said to Biden during this exchange, said, your son made $3.5 million with a cut to the big man. Right? That New York Post article that shows emails that put Joe Biden in the mix with his son Hunter. Not Beau, but Hunter Biden, his son. And Trump just fucking laid into him. And then Biden had the balls, the audacity to say that that's Russian interference. Bringing back Russiagate. Let's pull Russiagate out of the back, Joe Biden says. Russia did it. Whenever there's something wrong, whenever something goes wrong, blame fucking Russia. And now they're gonna blame Iran too. Watch, that's coming next. So that was so ridiculous. That exchange of Oh, I hear it. I hear the foghorn. It's so beautiful. The beautiful foghorn. So the trees in New York are starting to get yellow. Check it out. You see a little turning color, a little bit, because we're at sea level here. You know. We're still at sea level. It's late October. Halloween next week. The next big holiday. So anyway, one of the big gaffes, right? They keep trying to push Trump on his lack of supplying his tax returns for the American people and the press to analyze, and have been doing it for 4 years, 4 fucking years of Trump. Where's Trump's taxes? And Trump keeps saying, I'm under audit. I'll give it to you when I can give it to you. The IRS hates me. Which is total bullshit, really. It's stupid. That's not what's going on, right? The idea that Trump is under audit and can't give his tax returns is so fucking unbelievable. So Trump says last night, for the first time on the debate stage, after all the fucking accusations about his taxes, he says, I prepaid tens of millions of dollars in taxes. Oh, shit. Trump said, I paid tens of millions in pre-tax. He called it. He prepaid tens of millions of dollars in tax. That is just so fucking unbelievable. From out of nowhere, Trump pulls a lie, right? Make it, if you're gonna make a lie, make a big lie. That was a big lie, right? Trump's, you know, so now half the people in the country, that's so big. I don't know if that's the headline today in the Post, but it should be. Trump paid tens of millions of dollars in prepaid. Where's the receipt? Where's the canceled check? You'll never see it. The canceled check, that is. But anyway, that was a big one. And Biden, I gave 20 years. I showed 20 years of my taxes. Where's your fucking taxes? Well, that's just a why does the president have to show his taxes? Why does anybody have to show their taxes and how they fill out their taxes? What does that mean? Trump has always said that if you're smart in business, if you're on the business side of the world, you know, if you're a businessman, then you're considered very smart and savvy when you elude tax, when you evade tax. Trump has always said that, right? But now, all of a sudden, Trump is a bad guy because he evaded tax. No, he's in a different role now. He's the president. So again, I fail to see where anybody has really laid a glove on Trump. They keep trying to punch him with the tax, and what does he do? He flips it on his ass. He flips it on its head, flips the whole fucking thing on its head, and says, I prepaid that shit. Tens of millions of dollars. So, again, no glove fucking put on Trump. Then they talk about families. Oh, Joe Biden's Mr. Scranton. And Trump said, you've never even been to Scranton. You haven't been to Scranton in 100 years. And you're only 77. I mean, Trump really pushed on that $3.5 million that Biden and his son got from the Chinese government. And the Burisma stuff, right? But I don't think people really care about that. I think it's all quid pro quo. It's all talk. And Biden says that none of it is true. Biden said publicly that none of it is true when there's mountains of evidence on the table. So it shows you what kind of a liar Biden is, really. They're both lying, right? They're both lying, unequivocally. So the other flop by Joe Biden is Trump's handling of North Korea. Did Trump mishandle North Korea? Kim Jong-un? No. On the contrary, Trump handled Kim Jong-un like nobody else's mother. Like a mofo. He made friends with the psychopath, with the ruler and king of his own mind, Kim Jong-un, who has his people worshiping the bomb and worshiping him. He made friends with this crazy guy and calmed him down a little bit, where Obama refused to even speak with him, and Joe Biden as well, continuing to call him a maniac and a psychopath and to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. Peninsula, I know how to say it. So Biden doesn't score a point there, because if Biden is elected, logic says that you'll have increased conflict with North Korea because Biden doesn't know how to handle it. Biden is adamant about creating the illusion that that's how you deal with a threat. You deal with a threatening person by isolating them and vilifying them and sanctioning them. And Trump said the opposite. I wish Trump would have done the same with Venezuela and Syria and most of South America, but he has not done that. He has not done that, Trump. So Biden's stab at Trump's mishandling of North Korea falls short because Trump handled it in a way that was unprecedented. He handles bad guys and egotistical guys like Putin in a way that nobody has ever seen before. And he does it there hasn't been any wars under Trump. I mean, there's the conflicts all over the world, these little, dust-ups, but there hasn't been any major fucking war. Aside from the fact that we are in a Cold War with China, but that's been brewing for years. That's a result of giving China everything that they wanted in terms of literally turning the keys over to China to manufacture everything, giving away all of the fucking manufacturing jobs to China. And then a president coming in and saying, this isn't right, we got to take some of this shit back. And then that's why China vilifies Trump. That creates tension, right? The other reason, I think the other reason why the Democratic Party is so terrified of having the truth about how they handled Russia and their business dealings with Russia. Everything that Trump does wrong, they have to blame on Russia because that's the bad guy, right? To the Democrats. And we don't know the full extent of what the dirty Democrats, other than quid pro quo Hillary Clinton. And if you roll the tape back, how much money did Obama take from Russia, right? Or what kind of deals fell through with Russia? But we don't really know why the Democrats chose Russia as the villain. But it started in 2016 with Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, Robbie Mook, the Hillary Clinton for America campaign, where they smeared Bernie Sanders as a Russian operative and then tried to pin it on Trump. Maybe because there's a video of Bernie being naked, around drinking vodka with Russians, and Trump has a wife who speaks something that sounds like Russia. I don't know what the reason was, but we don't really fucking know, But it flipped to healthcare. That's where Trump fails, in my view. I think of all the issues arguing, Biden argues that we should move towards a universal single-payer healthcare system, but not really. He still says that the insurance companies, right, should stay in the game. Now, that is wrong. Both candidates are wrong on healthcare. Both of them. Biden will get nothing done. They'll try to reinstitute Obamacare that failed. Right? Everybody's included. Everybody's covered. Yeah, but at what price? People are getting fucking choked out as the price goes up and the quality of the care goes down. The amount of coverage goes down. They're underinsured under Obamacare, most people. Unless you're poor, then you just suck Medicaid and you get it for free. Right? So, and what is Trump's solution to that? We're going to have beautiful health care. He said it. Trump said beautiful health care. But they haven't proven any of that. He hasn't proven a fucking thing, Trump. Right? Not a single fucking solitary thing have the Republicans or Trump done for health care. Except wave the finger and say, we're going to get something much better. Well, you got rid of Obamacare. Now, get rid of come up with an idea. So then it turned to race, right? Right? It turned to race. Oh, they also talked about the cages. This notion that that Trump at the Mexican border built the cages to separate the parents from the kids. And it turns out Trump was pushing him, and he kept asking Biden, who built the cages? I built the cages. I didn't build the cages. I inherited the cages. You built the fucking cages. You and Obama built the cages for the children on the border to separate them from the parents. And Trump kept making the argument that it was coyotes and it was, wild Mexicans, cartels bringing in children to the border. So even that argument flops, and Trump gets to say, "Oh, I built 400 extra miles of wall." Pfft, who cares about your fucking stupid wall? So I guess that's really it. Oh, and then they talked about race, and the idea that the notion that somehow Trump is a racist is ridiculous, is barbaric, is insulting to anybody's intelligence. Where is your evidence that Trump is racist? Trump is vocal. Trump is, the Mexicans and the Arabs and the Muslims. So one could interpret that as racist, but show me the actual effect. You know what I mean? You could make an argument. That what Trump says, even with China, every time he calls it the China virus, there's a million Chinese people in this country that cringe when he says that, because it makes them look less American. It makes them look bad. So I understand that racist argument where the left tries to pin Trump as a racist, but it's really it doesn't hold up with more than half the country, and not because they're white. But there's millions of fucking blacks right now that can't stand the Democratic Party for cheating and lying and imprisoning the blacks ever since since the beginning, since certainly the civil rights movement. So Mark Conte reporting on the last of the last debates between the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and his competitor, Joe Biden from Scranton. I give it to Trump for the reasons I just described. I don't see how Biden wins the Rust Belt. I don't see how he wins back Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I don't see how he wins Florida. There's no enthusiasm for Biden. It's all a sham and a ripoff. He's down in the basement in Delaware. He doesn't come out. He's low energy. He's got that stare, like he's gonna stare you down into the camera thing going on, and Trump is just lighthearted and fun and funny. And that's what people are receptive to. It's not, they can't even connect anymore with the policies, And so there you have it. Mark Conte reporting from his favorite park that he'll be leaving soon, and we'll give you more details on. And, watch the debate for yourself. Oh, become a Patreon of this channel too. PayPal, Patreon, MarcusConte.com. Peace out.